Backcountry and Beyond. Got a really easy cook for you today. We're going to smoke some brats. This takes probably about 2 or 3 hours, but there's very little work involved. This is super easy to do. So I'm just going to show you how I like to smoke brats on the Traeger. I've just got some store-bought beer brats. I just picked these up from Food Line right around the corner. Anytime you can, if you have a local butcher that gets them in fresh, never frozen, go for that. I couldn't make it to the butcher this week, so we're going with store-bought. So the secret to putting rub on brats, I'm going to show you how to get some good rub, some seasoning on there. No binder needed. We're using the Whiskey Bent Old Fashioned. I used this on some brats a week or so ago. Comes out awesome. This goes great on pretty much any kind of pork, ribs, whatever. I mean, you can just shake it on there, but what's going to happen is most of it's just going to bounce right off. That's just not going to work very well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this little tray that they come packaged in. You're just going to pour your rub out on the surface. Go ahead and use a pretty good bit. And then you're going to take your brats and just kind of press them down and just roll them around in that a little bit. And that's literally all there is to it. It's super easy to do. It's just kind of a little trick that most of us wouldn't think of, but once you figure this out, you're gonna be like, man, why didn't I think of that? Perfect. You don't need a lot of seasoning on these. I mean, it is a sausage. There's gonna be a lot of salt and stuff already in the meat itself, but it's always nice to get a little bit of rub on the outside for a little bit of extra flavor, and that's also gonna help you soak up a little bit more smoke while you're cooking them. So we'll just finish seasoning these up, and then we're going to take them straight out to the grill. All right, that's it. These are ready to go. Let's head out to the grill. Cooking on the Ironwood 885 today, my personal favorite grill to cook on. We're set at 165, super smoke if you got it. As you can see, the grill's at 166. It's dialed right in where it needs to be. And we're going all solar today. We've got our Goal Zero Yeti 400 portable power unit, and we've got our Boulder 50 watt solar panel that's feeding power back in. The grill is only going to pull about 15 to 20 watts, so we're actually putting in more power than we're draining. I've had the grill running for about half an hour so far. We're sitting at 100%, the battery's full. So anyway, 165 degrees, super smoke, straight on the grill grate. Some of you purists out there may ding me for this, but I'm going to do it anyway. This is just how I like to cook brats. I'm going to stick a probe in one of them. Sacrifice one brat for the greater good. We're going to make sure that these are all perfectly cooked. And I mean, really, as long as you don't move this around, you just leave it like it is, you're really not going to lose any juice out of there. It's just going to kind of seal up around the tip of that probe. And that's just going to allow you to have them perfectly cooked. They won't be overcooked. They certainly won't be undercooked, because the last thing you want to do is eat ground pork that's undercooked. So probe's in. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my dot. I like to use the ThermoWorks dot for stuff like this, just because it's single probe. It's incredibly easy to use. And that probe, I don't know if you noticed, it's got a tiny little tip on it, so it doesn't put as big of a hole in the meat. But anyway, you're just going to use your right arrow or left arrow, whichever way you need to go, to set your target temp. I'm going to set it at 155 degrees today. I want to pull them off somewhere between 155 and 160, and then we'll let them rest for a few minutes. So that's it. We're ready to go. These are going to go at 165 for the first hour, and then I'm going to turn the grill up to 225, and we're just going to ride it out at 225 until they're done. Probably take about 2.5 to 3 hours. All right, it's been 1 hour. As you can see, the Goal Zero is still full. We're only putting about 15 watts into the grill right now. The input's at 0, and that's because the battery's full. If it drains, then the solar panel will start kicking some more power in there, and it'll just keep it topped off while we cook. The internal temperature is 127 degrees on my bratwurst I had probed, so these are cooking a little bit faster than I expected. These will probably only take about 2 hours to be done. As you can see, we're getting some nice color there. Definitely getting some smoke soaked up in there. It's gonna be a lot of good flavor. And I'm gonna go ahead, turn the temperature up now. We're gonna go ahead and just crank it up to 225, and we're gonna roll at 225 for the rest of this cook. All right, so we just turned the grill up to 225. Our brats are still smoking. Probably gonna need about another hour till they're done. In the meantime, I'm just gonna make up something real quick to glaze them with at the end. Nothing fancy, just really simple. I'm gonna go in with some of this Still There mustard moonshine sauce. This stuff is awesome. This guy makes some of the best barbecue sauce you will ever taste. One of my favorite things about these sauces is none of them are just straight traditional. As you can tell, that's not just your regular basic mustard sauce. He's got his own little spin on everything. So you're definitely going to taste the mustard in here, a lot of vinegar, garlic, just really awesome. It's got a little bit of chipotle paste in there too for a little bit of kick. And then we're going to round that out with a little bit of this honey stinger wildflower honey. So this will help make it a little bit sweeter, and it's going to make it a little bit thicker to glaze these brats with when they're done cooking. So yeah, this is real easy. Definitely don't need to overthink it. There's no measurements here. I'm just going to put some sauce in there. I'm going to throw a little honey in there, and I'm going to taste it, and if I need to adjust it, I'll adjust it. So, probably a few teaspoons or so of that. I'm going to go in with probably about 2 or 3 teaspoons of the honey. Pretty much like a 50-50 mixture here. I think that's good. So super easy, ready to go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out to the grill, and I'm just going to throw it on there and let it smoke for a little while. Alright guys, so we are an hour and a half into this cook, and these brats are pretty much done. They've got just a few more degrees to go. So this is a perfect example of why you should never go by just time when you're smoking meats like this. You really need to use a meat probe and go by the internal temperature of the meat. You know, the last time I did these, I had the exact same brats, same brand, same beer brats. I smoked them for about 2.5 hours until they were done. And here we are with the exact same product, and they only took an hour and a half this time. So, you know, if I had just gone by time and say, well, I know they're gonna take 2.5, 3 hours, these things would have been way overcooked, way overcooked. Here we are, an hour and a half, and they're ready to glaze. I mean, they're about to come off the grill. They're done. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit them with a little bit of this glaze we put together. All right guys, it has been 1 hour and 45 minutes, and these brats are done. It's time to get them off the grill. We're gonna let them rest for a few minutes, and then we're gonna taste them. Check that out. You can tell they definitely took on a pretty good bit of smoke. Looking nice with that glaze on there. It's set up now. It's become kind of tacky, which is exactly how I want it to be. Alright guys, these smoked brats are done. These took about 1 hour and 45 minutes, which is a little bit quicker than what I'm used to. They typically go for about 2.5 to 3 hours. Again, I can't stress enough, that's why it's important that you always use a meat probe. Go by the temperature rather than going by time. If I had gone by time today, these would have been severely overcooked, and nobody wants that. So let's cut into one and see how it turned out. As you can see, you got a nice little smoke ring there. Still plenty juicy. These are going to be awesome. I'm just going to go ahead and slice this one up a little bit, and we're going to try it, see how it tastes. It's perfect. Still nice and juicy. I really love this old-fashioned rub. It goes perfect on brats. I really want to try that on some ribs too. Definitely looking forward to cooking some ribs. And of course we got the mustard shine sauce and a little bit of wildflower honey that we used to glaze them with. Came out perfect, nice little balance. The tanginess from the mustard, a little bit of kick from the chipotle paste that's in there, and then you get the sweet from the honey, and it kind of thickens it, just makes it awesome. Yeah, so that's it for that. Before we end the video today, I've got somebody I want to introduce you to here. One of our newest part-time employees who really does a lot of cool things for our store. So we're going to swap out camera real quick. I'm going to introduce you guys to Christian. She's in charge of our social media, so when you see those posts out on Facebook, Instagram, out in the wild, she's the one that does all that. She helps out with the website. She does a lot for the website. When you see my grill tip videos on the Facebook page, that was Christian. She takes it from YouTube. She comes up with the captions, all the tags and stuff. She's in charge of all that. So say hello to Christian, guys.
Hi.
Do you want to try some of the brats today? It's always nice to get a second opinion.
Super good. I also haven't had lunch yet, so this helps.
Yeah, so we're fixing to chow down, guys. It's time for us to eat. Don't forget, always come see us on Saturday for demo cooks. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, etc. And check out our website, backcountryandbeyond.com. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.